So there was a documentary that we came across in the midst of binge watching some stuff that we saw called The Scheme on Netflix. Or no, sorry, The Scheme on HBO. It's on HBO. It's called The
How
Scheme.
did you find it? Because I'd never heard of it. How did you find that?
We were watching another documentary or something on HBO. I can't remember what it was, but we were watching something on HBO, and because I have Apple TV, so we were going through the things, and we saw it, and my fiance was the one that actually was like, "Yeah, I heard about that." I'm like, "What you hear about this?" And so we watched it. So just real quick, I'm gonna see if we can play this trailer for people to see a little bit of real quick.
I don't even want to tell my story as much as I want to tell the bigger story, in my opinion.
In the basketball agency world, Christian is like a mastermind.
For a young guy, incredibly well connected. He wanted money to run a sports agency.
My investor, Jeff D'Angelo, says we should fund coaches. That is essentially bribery. I'm trying to tell him that makes no sense. Because this is my money. You're going to do what I tell you to do.
Christian had no idea Jeff D'Angelo was an FBI agent trying to build a coach's bribery case.
I was like, you think paying coaches makes sense? Cool. I told the coaches what was happening. Listen, bro, this guy's stupid. Let's go in here. I'm going to take the money and keep it.
You literally cannot make this up. Christian was the one they went after as a centerpiece of this whole thing. He made it clear he didn't want to do what he was being asked to do.
Who are the good guys here?
I was charged with wire fraud, bribery. My maximum sentence was 200 years. What? They said to me, we want you to give us Rick Pitino.
Sean Miller, the head coach of Arizona. Will Wade, the head coach at Louisiana State University. The whole thing was manufactured. The whole thing was arguably entrapment.
Someone's preventing information from being out there. This is bigger than me.
Did you do anything wrong, Christian?
Did I do anything wrong?
I loved this doc.
Dude, I did too. It was great.
I need to watch it.
You gotta watch. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's called The Scheme. It's on HBO, and it's basically about this kid Christian Dawkins, who really just wanted to be an agent, and just got screwed over left and right by the FBI. It was real, like they said, it was really a situation of entrapment. The FBI was basically sending in undercover investors to basically try to trip him up into doing some illegal stuff that he didn't even really want to do.
Yeah, they really wanted to catch coaches.
Yeah.
They were trying to catch coaches. And because they weren't getting them, and because, as it shows, which I thought was it made me like him a lot, the way he handled everything, because what he was doing was, yes, the way he was doing it was wrong compared to the law and how business is supposed. But the problem is the business hadn't been being run like that since decades before the kid was born.
Right.
So I actually liked how he handled it, because he's like, even though, some of it's a little shady, but that's the business. He's like, yeah, bro, let's just, I'm going to take this money and we're just going to take it and go spend some of it on this.
Yeah, he was telling.
Because it's like, I'm not going to go give this money to coaches.
Because it's not going to work. It was dumb. It was dumb. So the FBI was basically, he didn't know it was the FBI at the time, but the FBI is basically as these undercover investors telling him, we're going to give you this money to start your business. I want you to pay the coaches this money. And he's like, well, that's not how it works. Like, you don't pay coaches to get players to commit to teams. You pay the players directly to get them to commit to the coaches. And the FBI is like, well, no, that's not what we want to do. Like, this is our money. The FBI, as these undercover investors, are like, this is what we want to do. We want to give the coaches the money, which was they basically strong-armed him into doing some illegal shit. That's pretty much what happened.
Yeah, it was, it's funny because, and I'm glad that it went after basketball, because obviously football has similar issues. But as a guy, I grew up playing, I was in the AAU circuit. I played against, Tyson Chandler. I played against Deshaun Stevenson, some of the big recruits that, both those guys went straight to the league.
Yeah.
And you can imagine what kind of offers they were getting to go to college.
Yeah.
But, So and I was really in the era when I played where AAU had gone from popular to literally blew up in that 5 or 6 year period where the shoe deals and who was the guy? I always forget that guy. Sonny Vaccaro was the big name, and the ABCD camp, and it had just, and Slam Magazine was talking about some of this stuff, so it had just come to like the forefront what was going on with AAU basketball.
Yeah.
But none of it was shocking to me in the way of we know how this stuff works. What was crazy to me was this guy's story because he got involved with it when he was in high school.
Yeah, he was smart.
Jesus. And a crazy story because his little brother, was set to be one of the top players in the entire country. Probably would end up playing in the league and dies of a heart condition.
Yeah.
But he's seeing this all. His dad's one of the best coaches in the country, high school coaches in the country. It was crazy. His story in particular, what was shocking to me. But what was transpiring in the business, that wasn't shocking.
Yeah.
Right.
I was just shocked at the lengths that the FBI was going to trip him up, because it was like, this should be illegal. Like,
right.
The things that they were doing, especially when they were pushing him, what they wanted him to do, the illegal things they wanted him to do went directly against his business model, right? So his business model was, I grease the players' hands so that they can take care of themselves and take care of their families, and then when it's time for them to sign, they give us a good look, or and so, and that's how it's been going for a minute. And then the FBI came in and was just really trying to like force him to do something illegal, and then they take him to court, and when it's all over, he ends up in court, and I think, did he end up doing time?
He's on like it seems like he's doing time right now, but he's on like he's not in jail because he's out on like some sort of bond.
He shouldn't be doing anything.
But currently right now he's technically, in jail.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. And there's so many, you guys got to go watch it, but it's nuts because when he said he wasn't going to cooperate, what we see in the movies, right? These guys show up with like full on arsenal, like he's armed and dangerous, and then they don't put you in any sort of other jail. They put you in with, they said El Chapo was right upstairs.
Yeah.
He got him in with all the criminals.
He was in big boy prison.
But, sounds like a conspiracy theory, but it's like,
it's crazy.
It's like real life though.
It's real life. It's real life. Like, and the crazy thing about it is, it really just pulls the cover off of the NCAA and how just ridiculous all of the rules and regulations and how dirty college football and college basketball really is. It's really dirty. Like, it's super dirty, and it's not enough people talking about this or trying to change how dirty it is, right? Because this is stuff that's been going on for years and years and years. And now if you try to help out a player, or if a coach is seen buying a burger at Wendy's, they are in violation of NCAA rules.
So this is great too, because I, as time has gone along, have completely flipped my opinion on if college players should get paid. And where I stand now is they absolutely should. The question is how to structure it. I mean, it's never going to be perfect, but what are your guys' opinions on college players getting paid, and should different players get paid differently based on what type of value they're bringing to a program?
That's the thing. I'd get paid, maybe not, but because most of them are getting a full ride. So if that's
not paid, you don't see that money.
No, yeah, okay. So, but
that is
should they be able to make money off of their likeness? 1,000%. 1,000%. They should be able to go to the local sports shop on the corner of Elm and Main Street and sign autographs, take pictures
while they're in college.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, so you think you're okay with them making money off of their likeness? You don't think they should be getting paid?
Wait, what do you mean?
Meaning they shouldn't be getting like a salary.
A salary, like a check, like a personal check.
See, that's tough because it's just like kids in school, you know what I mean? They're all 18 through 21-year-old kids. So it's tough.
They're adults that are,
but they still need money.
Other adults, millions of dollars.
Yeah, they still need money.
I understand that. No, I understand that. Now, do I think the NCAA is greedy and they're corrupt? Absolutely. But do I think that all players? No, I don't. I don't think they should get something, but it should be. It shouldn't be like one guy's making $8.3 million a year and another guy's making $10 a week.
So
I think it should be. I think it should be like a small, maybe like say if it's even like $500 a week or $100 a week or something like that, like something to get them through, like something to get them food for the week.
Let's say this. Let's say, let's say we're talking Kentucky basketball.
Yeah.
So we already know a lot of those guys are getting paid more than NBA players anyway. But let's just say I don't know how big the roster is. Let's say it's an 18-man roster from top to bottom. What if every single one of those Kentucky basketball players gets paid $1,000 a year? Everybody. Davis was there. If he's the big name on campus and he can go sell jerseys and sign autographs and make more money than everybody else that way, that's fine. But as far as their salary for attending the university and playing on the basketball team, everybody makes $50,000 a year.
Yeah, but that's the thing is, if you play basketball, you make $50,000. If you run track, you make what, $25 a week?
Well, I don't know.
You shouldn't get paid.
I'm just maybe not. Yeah, I'm just centering in on basketball because we know basketball makes a lot of money. And we know there aren't a lot of guys on a team like there are on a football college team. But when I say that to you, you'd say no.
So
Rhino.
Oh, sorry.
You would say no.
No, $50,000? No, not a chance to play college basketball.
Why?
Because you're getting a free education most of the time.
So okay,
if they want to allocate more scholarships and do it like through that, and then give them an allowance. I don't know how it all works.
So the basketball program, at a lot of these schools are bringing in millions and millions and millions of dollars, right?
Yeah, and I understand that.
The coaches, some of the basketball coaches that coach for NCAA programs make more money than pro coaches, like head coaches, right?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
So, is it fair that the head coach is let's say making $10 million a year, and the star player doesn't have enough money to buy groceries for a week?
No, that's what I'm saying is if they should get paid.
So what's $50,000 to a program that's bringing in $1 billion?
No, nothing. God, no, nothing.
That's what we're talking. We're talking about.
Are we talking about if they should get paid, or like how much they should get paid, or how greedy the schools would be?
I was just throwing that as an example. Kentucky, because in my opinion, if we're getting into opinions, different programs should get paid differently. Because if you're going to go play at San Jose State, they're not making the amount of money for the university or the NCAA that Kentucky is. And Kentucky's making a lot. I just threw that number out as like a what if.
I think that's a slippery slope I think we do have to make it uniform, because otherwise they're already greasing palms and paying people through under the table and stuff like that.
And they're
right?
always going to.
They're always going to. So I think in order to scratch the naysayers' backs, I think we make it uniform, and all of the players, no matter what university you go to, if you are in Division I, you make the same amount of money. So that eliminates, a kid leaving high school who's in between Clemson and Delaware State to be like, well, I should go to Clemson because I'm going to make more money, right? So, I think they could figure out something where they make it uniform.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think that even $50,000, if you're playing Division I basketball or football, isn't enough of the pie. Like best NCAA basketball and football generates billions of dollars, like with a capital B. It generates billions of dollars, right? So it's literally the only industry in the world where the product itself isn't getting paid, but it's $1 billion industry, right?
Yeah, and I get that stance. It's just like what you're saying is, I'm going to go to Duke over BC to play basketball.
Yeah.
Because I'll make 75K and it's not fair to, the college that's not in the top 25 every year.
Right.
But I mean, it
right.
almost granted, like if any recruit who's worth anything is going to go to the, like, say, Alabama for football or Duke or Kentucky for basketball.
Yeah.
Rather than like East San Diego County Community College online. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so I don't know. I think it's just a thing of fairness. I think, should they get paid? Yeah, but like not as much as people think they should get paid. And I think we should be able to see what the NCAA is doing with the money that they're making.
That's the thing. I think it depends on. It should go just the way the CBA goes in the NFL and the NBA, where the players get a percentage of the pot. So I don't think we should make a definitive decision on how much college students should get paid because we're so caught up on the fact that they're college students. I think how big is the pot, right? If the pot is that the schools are taking home is let's say $6 billion, right? Then the students should make a percentage of that $6 billion, and that might far exceed $50,000 a student each, right? It might far exceed when we sit down and crunch the numbers. If saying the students, I guess we can agree that the students should make at least 30 to 40% of the pot, right? That's not a crazy number, right?
But that is because 30% of the pot, I think the school should get a lot of it because they need to.
They do. This is all factored in.
No, yeah, but I'm saying the NCAA should get their chunk because they're the ones organizing, so on and so forth. And then the school should get their chunk. Maybe it should be like 10, 15, 20%. 30% is a lot. Because there's so much upkeep to the school. Because a lot of those schools, like
a lot of the programs pay for the schools. Like these football and basketball programs, they literally pay for the schools. Without the players, there's no program. Without the program, there's no school. So the school, I could argue that the school should in no way get more of a percentage than the players do.
Yeah, but without the school, what do you got? Nothing. But without the players, what do you have? Nothing. So yeah, I was just playing a little devil's.
It's chicken or the egg, yeah. But I think you just have to take that and kind of prioritize and see like, well, who's the meat and potatoes of this? Like when you go to an NBA arena, the players need the arena, but people aren't there for the arena. The people are there for the players. So the money is going to the players. It's not going to the arena, even though we need the arena.
Yeah, it's when I first started, and I think this is what you've been saying, Connor, like I felt everyone should get whatever the amount is. Every football player, it's obviously going to be different for different sports. Every football player should make the same amount at every D1 school. But now, the more I've thought about it, I'm like, well, no, because for me, if a player has more value to a program or a program has more value to the NCAA and is making more money, I feel like there should be scales and there could even be scales based on if you go to a school that makes this amount of money with their program compared to this amount of money in a range. Maybe that's how you do it.
I mean, I would be down. So in all actuality, I'm on board with that. But I just know that when there's a huge side of people that are against this, and there's going to be people to fight it. And I think that when you're negotiating these type of things, you got to give some to get some. So I'm saying I'm willing to give you fine. Let's pay everyone equally. Just to take away the argument of people saying they don't want athletic college athletics to turn into capitalism and kids just going here and there. Because I think that's the real world. And if you're there to prepare college students for the real world, that's a part of it. So I'm not against. So I'm not against. I'm with you on that. I'm just trying to find a middle ground for the people and a lot of the NCAA executives who are really against this. They use all of these BS excuses to push this situation further down the road. So I just think that that's a meeting ground to go, okay, we'll give it to you and pay everybody and, make it a uniform thing. But I think they got it. It's no way that I think that the players should get a percentage of what the pot is. I don't think because if we throw out a number, people will get caught up on a number and not realize how small of a piece of the pie that the players are getting.
I think it should be a blanket for every sport. You know, like all football players make this, all basketball players make this, hockey, baseball, track and field, whatever. Because how many programs would that affect?
I wouldn't even extend it to that many programs because those aren't the programs that like your track program at any school is not paying for the school, right?
Well, hockey and baseball will.
Hockey, maybe baseball a little bit, but
it depends. It depends on where you go. It's like anywhere else. Like Kentucky's a basketball school.
If you go to Connecticut, the girls' basketball program makes a lot more money than.
If you go to Boston College and Boston University, their hockey teams are making more than anything else.
It's just fewer of them. It's fewer of those programs. So I think we start with the big ones. That and being college football and basketball and just go from there. Cause like it's the same thing. My same thing about I think you eat what you kill, right? So in sense of like we used to hear this uproar about WNBA players getting paid like the NBA players. They don't bring in the money that the NBA players, and there's no sexist thing involved in it.
I agree with you on that.
They can't get paid like them because they don't put the butts in the seats like they do, right? So you eat what you kill. If you're on a bowling team at UCLA, you shouldn't get paid like the players, the basketball program, because y'all don't bring in the money. You know what I'm saying? I think it just should come down to that.
And that's why I think baseball players get paid the most because they have the most games, they have the most product out there.
Yeah,
I think that's true. They play a lot of games.
Yeah, they do. And
that is a good point because I've thought about like, man, why do baseball players make so much damn money?
They play 1,000 games.
Exactly. They play so many games.
And that's why, and it's not maybe not as popular as football and basketball, but it is the only sport during the summer. So.
But that's the point. The point that you made is that's my point with the players, right? These baseball players, baseball at best is the third most popular sport in America, right?
Yeah.
But they are the highest paid. Why? Because MLB pays them a percentage of the pot, and the pot is because of the amount of games that they have, right?
And there's no salary cap,
and there's no salary cap, right? So we have to take this approach, I think, to the NCAA and pay these players a percentage of this. Say give them 30-40% of whatever that ginormous number is that the teams are bringing in, because they are the product. And a lot of these kids are in dire straits. A lot of these kids can't afford to buy their own sneakers outside of the team sneakers that they're given. They can't afford food. They can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, and on top of that, they can't have jobs. A lot of these players, it's in their agreements that they can't even do work study.
That's terrible.
So this is the NCAA for you. You know what I mean? It's like
can't even work at McDonald's.
You can't. A lot of them can't. You know, and even if they could, they wouldn't have time to. Because if you know anybody who's played college sports, it's 24/7.
Yeah.
It's 24/7. They don't even got time for school if we're being honest about it.
Yeah, I had a bunch of people that played, a bunch of friends that played college hockey, and that they were constantly working on their game rather than a job or anything like that.
Because you're treated like a professional, but you're not paid like a professional.
Yeah, it's not professional sports, so
right?
That's the thing too.
But you're treated like a professional, and you're expected to act like a professional.
Yeah. Well, act like a professional is like you could say
they want you to drop everything in your life. They want you to drop everything in your life and focus on the sport. So that's to ask them to be professional. That's to ask them to be treated like they're professional.
Yeah, I don't think that's fair because they're all in their prime years. You know what I mean? Like 18 to 21 or 22.
And what 90 what percent of those guys are never gonna go get paid?
How about that? You give all your time.
Only like 10% of every sport, maybe. Bro.
Is it even that? Is it 10%?
It might even be less than that.
And some of those guys play 2 or 3 years. It's slim.
Yeah, not everybody's gonna be like a Brady Manning or
Yeah, you give up.
Oh, he's coming back on. There he is.
Oh, I don't know. Okay.
Yo, I got it. How long we been on?
All right, we're done. That was a sign. Let's get out of here before this thing shuts down and doesn't save itself. Okay, so
Yeah.
what'd you say?
Hey, let me ask this.
Yeah.
Why do you have a Bears poster behind your head?
Oh, so my
Harker.
old roommate, shout out to my old roommate, Dan. He moved back to Chicago, and he left this here by accident, and my landlord's actually hung it up there. And it's the only sports memorabilia around, and this just happens to be the table where it makes the most sense. So I got the, I think that's the 85 Bears offensive line behind me.
There it
Hey,
is.
props to them, though. Props to them.
Shout out to the Bears.
I was making sure that you didn't put that up there.
It's dope. It's dope. That poster was made way before each of you guys were born, by the way.
Yeah, it was. Shout out to the Bears.
Rhino, thank you, man.
Thank you, Rhino, for being the first official guest on the Backstage Sports Podcast. We're gonna definitely have Rhino back. Rhino, where can they follow you and watch your cool acoustic guitar videos and talk shit with you online?
At Instagram, Twitter at RhinoCounts24. Thank you guys for having me.
Dude, thank you for coming on, brother.
Yeah,
I'll take either for my either a plaque, a trophy, or like a wrestling belt as like first guest.
Whoa, hold on. This is actually amateur podcasting, so we can't pay anybody. We can't give gifts.
It's not a payment. It's a gift.
NCAA of podcast.
It's a gift.
All my stuff as always at JT Harker. New music video for If I Ain't Got You is out, featuring
bangers.
One of my best friends and my drummer Joe Connor in that
video
as
we're
well.
in there.
We YouTube and go. I've been posting on the social media stuff, all that.
Dope. Us at Joe Connor 33 on everything at Backstage Sports on almost everything. The Facebook page is now up. It's Backstage Sports FB. Go like and subscribe, share, hop on the YouTube page, and we'll see you guys later. Be safe. Peace.